Hello, Michelle Houghton here at Copic in the Craft Room. If you're interested in finding out about any of my live upcoming classes, check out my blog at scrapweaver.com. The stamps I am using today are by Flora and Fauna. This is kind of a new to me group. I know they've been around for a while, and I have been eyeballing this particular set for quite a while. So I finally got it, and it is these little mer-animals, which I love. And then I've just got these stamps from Stamp Anything, and I'm using Azure, Apple Green, Caribbean Sea, and Heather is the last color. And that's what I did, the mermaid tail. And basically I put all the little faces and masked off a couple of them. So the panda is just a head, but the hippo I masked off his body, and the llama as well. And then I added tails onto all of them with those different colors. And then I decided I wanted to put them all underwater. So I've got a B000 that I'm starting with, and I'm giving myself an edge. And I'm not sure in the end if I like that, but it's one way to do this. And then I'm working down and back up from that edge. And this is going to speed up a little bit so this doesn't take forever. But notice I've got my marker sitting all the way kind of horizontal to the paper or parallel to my paper. I'm holding it way at the back end so I can lay it flat. Then I've got a BG70. This color is super light and you're barely going to see it. And then I've got a B41, which is considerably darker. Again, I'm working from the bottom and from the top. Nice long strokes. Most of these are not reaching from one end to the other. It's reaching most of the way across. Some of them can go all the way, but not all of them will. I've got a BG02, which has got quite a bit more brightness to it. And notice I'm just going completely over the animals. They're underwater. We're seeing them through water. And so my thought is that, again, we'd see those kind of currents over them. Another BG. So I've just picked some really light colors to work with. Watery ocean colors, some blue greens and blues, and you can, whatever you've got. The other thing that you can use are some really light greens. Some of the greens that start with 0, like a 00 is going to be pretty good, or a G20 would be really nice. And so I've got this kind of nice wash, and you can stop anywhere along the way. You don't have to fill it in quite this darkly. And then I take my B000 and I'm going to fill in the sky above. So I'm going to this kind of loose, really kind of cartoonish graphic wave top that I've given this kind of ocean that they're underneath. And I'm just filling this in with my B000. Now, if you're ever curious if your markers are dry, kind of notice what my marker is doing, even though it's in speed up mode, how it was scratchy and kind of light as I was coloring. It's dry and I need to refill that. Then I'm coming in with a colorless blender and I'm trying to soften that upper edge a little bit by creating some different scallops and running my colorless blender right along the top edge. And then I am coming in and I'm adding bubbles right above my animals. So I'm literally circling or holding my marker in place for chunks of time over each animal. And as I come back for a second time, you're going to see those bubbles even better. Now, depending on how much water you added, you will see it more or less. So the more color you put down, as you use the colorless blender to pull away from those bubbles, you'll see the bubbles more. But I do go back in with a couple colors. This time I'm going in with a B41 and just edging that bubble, and a B60 and going around all the way around a few of them, not necessarily all of them, and adding just those little touches of color to add a little bit, and coming back one more time with my colorless blender to re-emphasize those bubbles. And I'm going to add that to a card and call it good. Thank you so much for joining me this week at Copic in the Craft Room. If you haven't had a chance, like the channel so you can get this in your inbox each week. Ask questions. I try to kind of continually come through and answer questions that get asked. and join me over at Copic in the Craft Room on Facebook or my blog to see all my live classes. Thank you so much for joining me this week. Have a happy, colorful week.